Welcome to the How to Heal podcast, the show where we explore real life stories and practical tools to thrive. I'm your host, Lindsay Trimarchi Richter, and through over a 15-year journey of all things healing, I'm here to hook it up. If you're feeling overwhelmed, looking for a deeper connection, or straight up in a psycho-spiritual crisis, I got you covered. Let's unearth your unique elixir to purpose, peace, and progress. Here we go. Been a long time since I met you without a dope beat to step two. Who's going to the Ja Rule, Nelly and Eve concert Sunday? Jones Beach, you know when. Welcome to the 5,692nd side of Lindsay Trimarchi Richter. You're on the How to Heal podcast. Today, we are starting potentially an 8-week rollout. Maybe I'll truncate it, but it's going to be a rollout of value, people. I'm giving you value. If you were here last week pontificating with me, I appreciate you. I was going off in the deep end a little bit, but I had to do what I had to do. Okay. So if you were here still, I love you. You're a real one. And if you knew, I knew you'd be here. So that's why I'm offering this value. Okay. We're going there. We're going there today. I am rolling you through my 8-week program, my 8-week one-on-one intensive for free. Okay. For free. You are going to get my program Integrate. And I'm not selling anything yet, but I am going to give you the step-by-step process I walk my clients through for them to uphaul their shit, get to the next level, make more money, create more boundaries, have more freedom, have more self-expression, creativity. The list goes on. Just get to that level where you're like, I'm coasting, it doesn't feel good, and I want to get to the next level. So we're here. We here in the level 1. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to do a self-analysis. So if you're listening to this while driving, then do it while driving and take it in your bones. If you're sitting at your home or wherever where you have a pen and paper, jot some notes down. Either way, you gravy. Okay, baby, you gravy. So when we talk about self-analysis, which is essentially like what my podcast is about, got a little too deep there. But thanks for sticking with me. This is where we talk about our passion, our purpose, and our why. This is what we're going to figure out week 1, passion, purpose, why. And we have to do some self-analysis here. And it's really what I talk about in the podcast. But for the purposes of this, you have to meet yourself where you are. You have to know yourself before you can authentically lead others, is essentially what you're doing. When you see someone who's super creative, super expressive, super authentic, just someone you admire, that person knows themselves. And that person, whether they realize it or not, is leading people and inspiring people. And your goal here is to just be fully realized, happy, fulfilled. And in that process of becoming fully realized, you are gifted with inspiring others. So we have to understand what's working and what's not working. And when I think about, there's the start, stop, continue. That's a really good exercise to do. Start doing this. Start drinking more water. Start exercising. Start writing every day. Start morning pages. If you guys have not heard about morning pages, The Artist's Way is a great book by Julia Cameron. And she talks about having artist dates with yourself in order to foster creativity. And morning pages is like a 5 or 10 minute timer. You write unconsciously, whatever comes to your head, you do not stop writing. You can write the same thing over and over again, but you just keep writing, you brain dump. And that is a really good way to just start to understand what's going on in your head. Because sometimes you'll sit down to write and be like, I had nothing to write. And you know what? You don't have anything to write because there's so much junk that's like stuck in the filter that you need to just push through. So get yourself writing. The Artist's Way is a good resource for your passion, purpose, and why. I'm also reading a book called Write Down the Bones. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. A friend recommended it to me, and she's like a Jewish woman from Brooklyn who is a Zen Buddhist and just talks about how to write a book. So we need to start to have a discourse with ourselves. So whatever that looks like, whatever it is you're able to tap into to pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want, like what the ideal version is. So yeah, again, we come back to the what's working, what's not working. Start, stop, continue. Like when we talk about goals, we talk about SMART goals. So specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and timely. So you have to put metrics around these goals that you have so that you can actually like see through them, see them happening, and that they're realistic, and that you're being, like you getting paid for this, right? You're making goals like you're getting paid for it. So own accountability, radical accountability here. Those are the starts. You want to be specific around the starts. Let me just go quickly through the SMART. So specific, I'm going to write every day. I'm going to journal every day, or I'm going to start writing my book every day. I'm going to write every day because I haven't been writing, so I'm just going to sit down and write. Get specific. Reasonable. I'm going to set a 2-minute timer. I haven't been doing it for a long time, so I'm just going to set a 2-minute timer. I'm going to do it for 2 minutes every day. Actionable. Is this actionable? This is the funny one. It's like, yeah, it's actionable. Okay, good. We know it's actionable. We know it's reasonable. We know it's something I can commit to. Right. So reasonable and actionable are similar things. Like, can I do it? Is it reasonable? Like, can I actually find the time? And is it a reasonable request of me? Just as an example, like when we talk about losing weight, it's kind of like, okay, we want to lose 2 pounds a week for the next 3 months. It's like, is it actionable? Isn't it reasonable? I'm not really sure it's necessarily either. We want to just set lower expectations that we can actually hit. Okay. So that's the actionable, reasonable. And then the timely. So I'm going to sit down, write for 2 minutes a day for my book for the next 3 months, because in 3 months' time, I'm going to sit down and hopefully be able to birth my book. That's sort of the whole SMART framework. And then you want to write what's not working. What's not working? Start, stop. I'm going to stop putting so much pressure on myself. The funny thing is like the starts are so much easier than the stops for me. I'm going to stop eating sugar for a week. I'm going to stop being on my phone around my kids. I'm going to stop when I feel like I want to explode on my husband. I'm going to stop, et cetera, et cetera. Start, stop, and continue. I'm going to continue drinking the amount of water that I drink. I'm going to continue drinking my green juice. I'm going to continue meditating. I'm going to continue posting my podcast weekly, et cetera, et cetera. Consider the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pillars that I talk about in this podcast. If you are like, I don't know about my spiritual practice, go listen to some other episodes and start to formulate your own spiritual practice. If it's just prayer, great. If it's like tarot cards, awesome. If it's going out in nature, amazing. If it's writing, perfect. Just figure out what makes you feel connected to the higher power, what gets you in flow. The physical, mental, and emotional portions are easier. Just to talk about emotional, I'm going to commit to going to therapy every other week. How can I emotionally nourish myself? Is it meaningful conversations with my best friends? Is it journaling? Is it honoring my feelings, crying when I want to cry, laughing hysterically when I want to laugh, even if it seems like a little ridiculous to the people around me? And I also want to just say, when we physically address our start, stop, continues, decluttering is the name of the game. We want to just take away. I talk about this in one of my first episodes. Take away to gain. Take away to gain. Throw that shit out. We don't have room for it in the house. Donate it. Throw it out. Clean it up. Get the dust away. Create space. This is where we really want to be committed. This is where this concept, which is just, the art of tidying up, Marie Kondo, it nails it for my clients. My clients are like, oh, I still clean up. I still declutter. I still have the mentality of taking away. Downsize, baby, downsize. Just downsize the amount of shit that you own. You don't need it all. You don't need all the papers. Just organize it. If you're unsure, just get rid of it. If you're not sure. So when you go to declutter, you're going to create 3 piles. It's going to be keep, maybe, and toss. And you do one thing at a time. You do start with your bathroom drawer. Or actually, the best thing for you to do is go to your bedside table and go into that drawer and you sleep next to that. That's where you manifest your life. That's where you're dreaming. That's where half of our life happens unconsciously. Go clean that bedside table drawer. So you're going to do keep, maybe, toss. And you want to be intentional about what you keep, because what you keep is what you reap, right? So I'm keeping this picture of this past time, with my ex-boyfriends or crazy times. Am I going to throw those pictures away? No, I'm not, but I'm going to keep them in a mindful place, set away, tucked away, that is in an organized spot, that I know where it is, and it's my personal stuff. I'm not going to have pictures of my ex-boyfriends in my bedside table. Okay. So just extrapolate that out. Do I really need receipts from Speedway? Whatever it is, just make sure that every item that you have in your periphery, in your vision, in your space is intentional and it's mindful and it's serving a purpose. Attribute meaning towards the objects in your life. Value the objects in your life and respect objects in your life. Respect your space and know that you can also create virtual, you can take pictures of things and you can put them in your notes and you can organize things that way. So you just really, really want to get organized. It's such a critical way to get to know yourself, get to know okay, this feels organized. This feels clean. This feels tidy. This feels intentional. This feels like I'm set up. That's where you want to get to. That's the feeling we want to get to, so that we can get clear on our passion. Yeah, it feels good. I feel energized right now. I feel really clear. I don't feel encumbered by anything. I feel just excited to take it on. That's where you get your passion, from the clarity. And from that clarity, we're going to get to your purpose and your why. We talked about the physical. We didn't really talk about mental yet. Well, let's talk about mental for a second. So when we do practices that we know are going to take care of ourselves, even if they're physical or emotional, it counts as mental. So we just want to be crystal clear on our mindset. So, decluttering helps our mindset. It helps freeze up space. Addressing emotional issues cleans up our mindset. It gives us space. But we want to understand what our mindset is. So when we set down to do something, growth mindset is the name of the game. We always want to have a growth mindset. When my clients come to work with me, they are in a growth mindset. They are sick of their shit. They want the next level. They are ready. They are committed. We have to just be ready and committed. We have to commit to the things that we're saying we're going to commit to, Commit to your start, stop, continues, and that's it. It's done. You put a time on it. It doesn't need to be for the rest of your life. Maybe it's just going to be for these 8 weeks, but you put a time frame on it and you're going to commit to it. You get into that mindset of like, it's like laser focus, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It doesn't need to be like scary, strict, rigid, but it needs to be inspired. It needs to be excited. It needs to be motivated, and it needs to be passionate. That's where we get results. So I'm going to hop back into the emotional. I will include this in the show notes. There is something called a emotions wheel, and there's core emotions that everything else stems from. It's sad, happy, surprised, bad, fearful and angry, and disgusted. So I'm just going to say those again in a different order. Fearful, meaning I feel weak, I'm rejected, I'm threatened, I'm insecure. Bad, which is such an interesting one because I never realized that bad was one, but I feel like I feel bad a lot. Tired, stressed, bored, busy. Busy is an interesting one because everyone says that they're busy all the time. And it's like, yeah, that's a little bit of a cop out. Like, yeah, of course we're all busy. Like, are you feeling good or are you not feeling good? You're busy? Okay. Is it good or is it bad busy? And if it's, no, it's good busy. It's good busy. It's like, all right, but make the time for the things that you know you need to make the time for. Surprised. Excited. Yay. I like feeling surprised. Some people do not like feeling surprised. Amazed. What an awesome one. What an awesome one. But there's also confused. I was not expecting this. And startled. Oh my God, you scared me. Happy, playful, content, proud, accepted, powerful, trusting, optimistic. And then on the outer, we had the core ones. Then I went through some of the middle tier, and then there's tons on the third tier. So it's just like a really good way to know what you want to feel and what you don't want to feel. And this is like one of the concepts that I teach my clients. It's like, know what you want to feel. Journal what you want to feel every day. 3 things. I want to feel happy. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel powerful. I can keep going, but like this is a really good way to, number one, envision how you want to feel in the future. And when you journal those things, you envision the way you feel when you feel those things, whether it's been in the past or whether it's something that you want to feel or that you see somebody feeling and you're like, I wish I could feel that way. How could I imagine that I feel that way? And get into that feeling. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So just get into the feeling, get into the practice of writing down what you want to feel daily. I learned this from Danielle Laporte from the Desire Map. She talks about creating your life based on how you want to feel. Not what you think you should have, not the $1 million, not the family, not the, like, we think all these things that we want because we think we're supposed to have them or that they are the image of success. But what we're not realizing is when we get there, we're like, oh, I had to sacrifice this and this for this because I thought it looked good, but actually it's leaving me feeling depleted. It's leaving me feeling trapped. It's leaving me feeling empty inside. So get to the core feelings of what you desire to feel. And you can start with 3, but if you're feeling it, just keep going. Just keep going. And every time you write it down, feel it. Go through the start, stop, continue. When we hit the pillars, the physical goal, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual practices that fill our cup, that we want to keep doing, want to start doing, want to stop doing. We're going to define those goals. We're going to sit down and we're going to say, okay, and guys, the feeling thing is a non-negotiable. That needs to happen every day. You want to be committed to finding your purpose, your passion, and your why. You define what you want to feel every day. And you sit down for a second wherever you are. Writing it down just gives you the space and the alone time and the commitment to yourself. I've gotten to the point where I can say, I want to do this and I do it right now because I give myself that little gift. But I wasn't always able to just harness and anchor in those feelings in that moment, in that time. But even if I'm feeling like willy-nilly. I sit down and I write, and then I'm anchored in. So just make a practice of writing, even if it's just for a couple minutes a day, to get the feelings out that you want, clear the head, right? Like, I need to do this. I need to do this. This is stressing me out. This is worrying me. Get it out, get it on paper. And then we're going to write goals. So what are the goals that you're going to do for yourself? What is your, wait for it, self-care plan? That is your goal. These are your goals, your self-care plan. It's not like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to go, find a new, yeah, of course it could be, I'm going to get fit and create a more fulfilling career, whether it's finding more boundaries at work, creating a new environment for myself, exploring a new opportunity, whatever. But we're not going to get that specific. We're going to keep it a little bit loose with really clear boundaries around what we want to feel, what we want to achieve. And we're going to see how the universe delivers for us, because we're going to be showing up in really aligned ways over the next 8 weeks. So define your goals. I would start with 3. And part of this practice is just pruning, like looking back, reevaluating, pruning. Is this goal still aligns? And continuing to comb through what we write. When we comb through, we're really in touch with what we write, how we write, why we write. I'm going to write this down in my journal, in my cool leather woven journal. That's another little trick. Like, get a special journal for yourself so that you feel like organized and that you feel like, I love this. I love the way this looks. I want to carry this around with me. I want to hold this. Like, this has meaning to me. Like, we talk about decluttering. Like, this is the meaningful object that I'm keeping in my periphery, in my container, because it inspires me. So, we're going to write down our 3 goals. 1, 2, 3. And I'm probably going to do this on my own time because whatever, it's just like a little too personal here. But like, I'm going to set 3 goals for myself. And it's going to be about meditation, because I know myself, writing, and then I don't know what the third one is going to be. But next week, I will come back and tell you what the third one is going to be, if I don't call me out of my shit. Comments. Feel free to comment. Feel free to follow. Feel free to rate. If you guys come and visit, you guys find value, please follow me, like me, rate me, do all the things so I know that you're here. I know that you want to continue to see what you like, what you don't like. So yeah, we're going to define our goals, and they're really going to be centered around self-care. Because when we get clear on what our passion is, we get that clarity on our passion. We start to get clear on our why, which is directly related to our purpose. And next week, we're going to talk about the why and the purpose. But for this week, I want you guys to get in the good habits. So that's it. I'm your ray of sunshine. Yeah. Stick with me, guys. Over the next 8 weeks, we are going to get crystal clear on what brings us life, what brings us good energy, what brings us the money, the freedom, the boundaries, the new, improved you, the you that feels good, that calls in opportunities, that brings in the people, that brings in the vibes. I love you. I will see you next week.